Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/ProRevenge. In today's episode, you want me to shut up? Okay, your loss, I'll shut up. Oh, you want a man? Okay. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. You want me to shut up? Okay, your loss, I'll shut up. Okay, so first off, this is sort of malicious compliance. Although she never directly told me not to talk to her, she did constantly complain that the things I said hurt her. Out of context, this makes me look like a bad guy, but I promise, I will explain everything. Also, this can also be sort of considered as a revenge story if you really want to push it. Okay, so backstory. I am in my mid-20s and until recently I had never been in a relationship. Girls didn't really notice me. I'm a guy in case anyone is wondering, and to be honest, I never really felt this urge to find someone right away. So this girl shows up in my life. Let's call her E for obvious reasons. Now for a good few years me and E were just casual distant friends. I met her when she was one of my friends GF. The relationship did not last long. Not just to be clear, back then and for a good while after their relationship ended I was not interested in her in any way. I don't make advances on people who are in relationships, much less on my friends' partners. In fact, I don't even consider them as a potential love interest. Anyway, a few years pass and somehow we end up catching up on FB. Somehow we managed to sort of hit it off. She is cute and seems interested in me, and I felt some sort of connection with her, so I figured, maybe she might be the one. I was concerned that she was my friend's ex, and they did not end on good terms, so I didn't want to start anything with her officially until I knew for certain that she was going to be the one, and that it was going to be serious. Boy, am I glad I was careful, because I dodged a huge bullet. For like 3 months or so we were in this weird state of being interested in each other, but for now not committing to anything. During this time, she sucked me in, and by that I mean sucked me in the way narcissistic, egocentric people do. And this girl's tactic was to play the victim. She would spend hours upon hours talking about this bad thing, and that bad thing, and how her first BF, who she depicted as mistreating her in the same way she was mistreating me, traumatized her, how my friend traumatized her, etc., 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 and this goes on for 3 months. I eventually start to notice a few things about her, and those are: 1. Whenever she would strike a conversation, the focus was on her. All of the time. Sometimes she pretended to ask me a question, but then brushed off the answer quickly, and moved on to talking about her and her horrible things in life. 2. Naturally, being interested in her, I wanted to know more about her, so I would ask stuff about her to get to know her better, but when I did, she put up a wall stating that she is scared of being hurt again, so at some point I just wouldn't ask those questions since she is unwilling to tell me anything deep or meaningful about her. I am only complying with what she is telling me. If it bothers her, then I won't do it, right? 3. She would eventually complain to me and cry and make a scene because I didn't seem interested in her since I didn't ask questions about her to get to know her better. See the previous point for irony. And when I explained why, and that I saw that asking personal things bothered her, so I didn't want to hurt her or make her feel uneasy, she would just not have it and blame me for being insensitive, etc. Cue a 4-hour cry session where I try to calm her down. 4. Didn't ask anything about me, as if she weren't interested in me at all, but rather just wanted me to be someone who gave her constant attention. We are talking double-digit hours glued to the chat screen here, no joke, and if I mentioned it I was the bad guy, cue crying, playing the victim, etc. 5. Would ask me stuff, but then would berate me for giving my opinion, or giving her advice on stuff. I guess she just wanted me to stay shut and just silently listen to her hours on end. 6. Whenever I tried helping her with her many issues by trying to lift her spirits or even just giving her advice, she would get defensive, and then just say that I don't understand, completely dismissing the possibility that maybe the reason why I said the things I said was because I do understand, and that she is the one who doesn't understand. She was very closed-minded whilst berating me for being too closed-minded. Which was funny because of my next point. 7. She would constantly tell me what I am doing wrong. I don't think I ever heard a single compliment come from her. I know she has a lot of issues, but so do I. As a result of my low self-esteem, I generally tend to try and think, what can I do better? Maybe I should improve on something, and I'm just not seeing it yet, and they have a point, etc. So whenever she criticized me for something I did, I would genuinely reflect on said thing and try to adapt or change it. And I changed a lot of things to cater to her personal needs. After all, if you are in a relationship, you need to adapt to the other person a bit, right? Right. Of course, back then I had little experience in relationships, so I didn't really know the right way to do things. 8. I would constantly try new things that I never did that she liked to do. After all, we can't do just the things I like, we need to meet halfway. Except that we only did things she liked, but didn't do any things I liked that she never did or liked. As you can see, it all seems very clearly toxic, though from up close back in the day when it happened it was harder to see, hence why I dodged the bullet. She cost me a lot of time and drama, but eventually things ended, her of course being the one who ended whatever it was that we had because she was too scared of being hurt again. Great tactic, sweetie, shoot yourself in the foot because you are afraid someone might shoot it instead. I cried pretty hard that day, but I am a proactive person, and I know that crying won't get you anywhere in life. If you want things to be better you need to actually do something. As much as it will break your heart to do it, you need to do stuff. Now let's roll back to the last week of our thing that we had. Now she criticized me for not talking to people enough, and not keeping in touch with them. So me, with the attitude that I have as I mentioned earlier in one of the points, I began to think and came to the conclusion that she is right, so I made an effort to talk to a few people on FB with whom I stopped talking for years. I randomly picked a few people, one of them being a girl called Jay. Now it was really draining me emotionally during the last week. Trust me, hours and hours on end of being the shoulder to cry on for a few months will drain you faster than a coffee enema, and I really needed someone to help me out emotionally. Enter Jay. We hit it off, she seemed like an awesome person. Funny thing is we didn't talk for 8 years, so she was basically a new person. She was funny, she was witty, the works, she was the highlight of my day whenever I talked to her. I realized that I really liked her, but of course I was not going to make any advancements on her because I was already in this semi-committed thing with E, and as much as he seemed to be toxic I felt it wouldn't be right if I wouldn't at least try to make things work with E first as a last try until I end things with her and decide to move on. I am a loyal and fair person, I do not cheat or even look for someone else whilst with someone else. Alas, the heavens must have heard me because he decided to make things easy and end things herself. So now let's resume me crying for about an hour. Didn't last long, the sadness was strong, but it ended rapidly because I felt this coming for a while now and Jay showed up too near the end. So me and he decide to end up as friends. Oh, you thought the story ends here? Much mistaken, which we do. Now here is what happened over the following week after the breakup. I honestly don't know what to call it. I instantly hit it off with Jay and comes out, she was also interested in me. Comes out that she was in a very hard spot in her life just when I happened to contact her, and unknowingly I happened to really help her emotionally in a way no one else could. So I tell her the news. After all, we are friends and I want her to know that her friend, me, is doing fine and not to feel shitty about ending things. She would often say things like, I feel like a bad guy now to play the victim for doing something shitty. Seeing how at the time she seemed to act just fine, no dramas etc. She seemed to have gotten over me pretty quickly, and doing well, I thought we could just have a friendly chat, but nope, enter the drama lord bursts into tears making me into some sort of monster by rubbing it in that I found someone else while she is getting over it etc etc etc. She then threw a tantrum and didn't talk to me for a while. This goes on for about a week. I try to talk to her like a friend and just be normal about stuff. I even helped be a wingman for her to get the attention of this guy she was into, which not long after telling me about him revealed to me that she was already into him, while we were still in our relationship. Frankly, that is okay, I understand, I was in the same situation, so I understand. If she wasn't hitting on him, it's okay, the heart wants what the heart wants. I won't criticize her for it, she played fair and everything was okay. Or at least it would be if she wouldn't have been giving me shit for the same thing. Hypocrisy comes to mind. Anyway, I let it slide, whatever, she is my friend, I want her to be happy so I help her out. Cue a week of her freaking out over every little thing this guy does or doesn't do, and I am the one listening to it all, and soon I notice that I am back to square one where I am constantly being sucked into her little world of drama and insecurities. This time however I tell her to stop because this time, I have someone else, and if he were my partner then I would be willing to spend so much time on her, but now she is just my friend, and I have priorities, she can't be in the center of my life anymore. Cue her flipping out on me, because of course she would flip out on me, screaming accusing me of hurting her, why do I do this etc, and that she won't ever talk to me again. 2 days later she talks to me as if nothing had happened and proceeds to tell me what I did wrong. At this point I am close to my limit. I am a patient person when it comes to people, but enough is enough. So as a friend I try to give her some advice about the way she behaves, of course INF a friendly most PC way possible. Of course, he takes it as an attack on her and proceeds to do her famous victim squeal, making me into Satan incarnate for daring for criticizing her because she is just too scared to address and deal with her issues and insecurities. Oh hell no. That was the final straw. I tried everything, from listening to giving advice, even a bit of tough love on one occasion, and nothing. she was like a brick wall, expecting help but not willing to actually do anything. So I unleashed the truck of truth on her, and I did not hold back. I tell her how essentially that she can blame shit on someone else only so many times until she has to admit that maybe she is the reason why things mess up in her life. I told her how she was in 3 relationships, yeah, I know I counted us as one of them, and in each and every single one she was the victim. Yeah, no, once, it happens, twice, okay, unusual coincidence, but by the 3rd time she should be noticing that there is a pattern, and I basically told her that if she doesn't stop acting the way she does, she will never be in a relationship, that she will fail the relationship with the guy she currently likes just like she failed the relationship with guy A, my friend and me. I then proceeded to tell her that I know what she will do now, that she will cry, play the victim, throw a tantrum and not talk to me for a few days, and that she can do that all she wants, but it won't change or fix anything until she actually starts addressing her own fears, issues, and insecurities. The last thing I wrote to her was that since I am such a bad guy and hurt her so much, because I keep saying the wrong stuff, then I will just make things easy, do what she wants me to do, shut up and just not talk to her. Told her not to bother replying to what I said because I am not going to read or reply to it since I know what it was going to be. Cue her doing exactly what I said she would do. When she realized that I didn't reply to her first comment, she of course sent another one, but again, I just didn't bother. Some of you may think, how is this malicious compliance exactly? Well, she kept saying that I say things I shouldn't say, etc., so I just complied and stopped talking to her altogether. In fact, I cut all contact with her. Why would this hurt her? Well, because she is the sort of person that needs to latch onto others to keep her drama going. If there is nobody left to blame or nobody to listen to her drama, she has to admit that she needs to do something about her life, and of course she is too scared to do that, so she prefers to leech onto others who pat her on her head and say there it's all good, and now she has one less person to latch onto. As much as it might have hurt her, I did this in good faith. She needs to reach rock bottom until she finally realizes these things and gets her shit together. I only helped that happen. As for me, I got together with Jay, moved in with her, got a job, a house, and we have been together for almost a year now, and things are only getting better and better. Comes out that the person you think is the right one isn't always the one who is actually the right person for you, so for that I am thankful to E for showing me the exact kind of person I was supposed to look for. Who I surprisingly found right after her. And this is where the revenge part comes in. If she stalks my FB page or asks our common friends how I am doing very well, and funnily enough at the time when me and E met we weather in very similar circumstances, same issues and insecurities, etc., so maybe if she sees me get my life together, she might realize that I was onto something when I told her those things, because I did those things, and it really helped me in life. E, I hope you got your shit together, I mean it. Oh, you want a man? Okay. I work in a field that is dominated by men. In fact, in my office of 30-ish people, only 3 of us are female. My direct boss, one of our QA reps, and myself. My job is a mix of technical support and customer service in a niche industry, and I have worked at my company for nearly 15 years doing the same job, small company, and not a lot of room to move as we tend to stick around. We deal with clients worldwide, and my department consists of 6 people. Generally, we have 2 to 3 on phones at any given time. 1 on chat, and the other 2 working on different queues. At least 2 to 3 times a week I am mistaken by clients as the secretary and asked to be transferred to tech support. My standard response is, I am part of tech support, what can I help you with today? And they are happy to work with me. Occasionally, maybe once every couple of years, someone will tell me they want to talk to a male or more senior rep. My boss is fine with me accommodating these requests as long as we don't have a queue. On this particular day, we had me and our newest team member, who had been with the company maybe a year at this point. He's now been with the company over 5 years. 2 of our team members had the day off, and it was later in the day, so the 3rd phone person had finished their shift and gone home. It was busy and we had a bit of a queue, and the new guy had a pretty difficult issue that he had been on the call for about 30 minutes. It was also when our management had their offsite, so we literally had no management in the office. I answer a call. Me, thank you for calling company support, this is OP, can I get your name or account number? Client, can you transfer me to support? Me, I am in support. How can I help you today? Client, transfer me to a man. Women don't work in support. Me, I'm sorry sir, all our other representatives are on calls right now. How can I assist you today? Client hangs up. I take the next 2 calls, no issue. The third call is the same caller. Me, thank you for calling company support, this is OP, can I get your name or account number? Client, can you transfer me to support? Me, I am in support. The client hangs up before I can offer to assist him again. I take another 2 calls, all the meanwhile helping the new guy where I can as he's now about an hour on the call. Next call, yup. The same guy. Me, thank you for calling company support, this is OP, can I get your name or account number? Client, can you transfer me to support? Me, I am in support. How can I help you today? Client, transfer me to a man. Women don't work in support. Me, I'm sorry sir, all our other representatives are on calls right now. Client, I am not working with a woman. I want your manager. Me, I'm sorry, the manager is not in her office at this time. Client, no, I want a male manager. Me, I'm sorry, all the managers are away from their desks in a meeting at this time. I can request that one call you back when they are available. The client hangs up. At this point the queue is clear and I continue to help the new guy with his issue. 5 minutes later I get a call, it's the same guy. Me, thank you for calling company support, this is OP, can I get your name or account number? Client, can you transfer me to support? Me, I am in support. How can I help you today? Client hangs up. Immediately he calls back and I answer again, we have caller ID, so I can see it's the same guy. Me, thank you for calling company support, this is OP, can I get your name or account number? He hangs up. This repeats about 6 times before I think he finally gave up. The new guy and I are close to fixing his client's issue, maybe 10 minutes have passed since the guy stopped calling when he calls back. Me, thank you for calling company support, this is OP, can I get your name or account number? Client, is there a male available yet? The new guy fixes the issue and hangs up, offers to take the call. Me, yes, one moment while I transfer you to another rep. Client, finally. I transfer the call and the new guy answers. The client's issue is rather difficult and after 5 minutes he asks for a more senior rep as the new guy doesn't know what he's doing, client's words not mine. The new guy looks at me and mouths he wants a senior rep, to which I nod, and he transfers the call back to me. Me, thank you for calling company support, this is OP, can I get your name or account number? Client, I asked for a senior rep, not a female. Me, sir, I am the senior rep available right now. I've been with the company for over 10 years. Obviously, I know what I'm doing or I wouldn't still work here. The client reluctantly allows me to assist him, and it took me less than 15 minutes to get him going again, as it was an issue we knew about with the version released when I started, and as the new guy never dealt with the older versions he was still learning the legacy protocols. To the client's credit, they have never asked me to talk to a male again and more often than not asked to talk to the female in support when they call. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.